Okay. So what was I talking about? I was talking about...
Your essay.
Yeah, the essay. So, I'm talking about why we have ethical responsibilities to people in the future, and I'm arguing that the only reason we do is because of happiness. You should maximise happiness, and so that goes into probability about whether or not worlds are likely to happen or not.
Right.
And you've also got the idea of the present is infinitely small. It's an infinitely small slice of time.
Yeah.
The present is infinitely small, but. So in any stretch of time, like from 2:30 to 3:30, for instance, you've got an hour, but you've also got infinitely many, infinitely fine slices. So if you say like the population stays constant, for instance, say you've got 7 billion people, 7 billion people, 7 billion people, you've actually got infinite many times 7 billion people in a finite time. So there's 7 billion people now, which we need to consider, but infinitely many 7 billion people in the future for any stretch of time.
Yeah.
And then you've got, but the future isn't certain because the actions we've taken. So each timeline diverging track has a probability of happening, and so that probability is based on the prior likelihood of events. And so if you've got really, really unlikely things happening, the likelihood of that future happening is really unlikely, so that actually reduces the ethical weight that you have to consider in the future.
Right.
But those all sum to one. There has to be a future, so that goes back to the point. You've still got you've still got 7 billion people at every slice in the future.
Yeah.
So you get back to the problem of having infinitely many people in the future to take care of and finite many people now.
But why should we take care of them? Why should we give a shit?
Because if we don't, we will miss out on happiness. If we only want to maximize happiness now, we'll lose happiness. It's like the squirrel that doesn't hoard any nuts. It's the squirrel that goes and eats everything.
Yeah.
It's a happy squirrel, but it's going to die when winter comes.
Yeah.
If you don't postpone some of the happiness, if you don't do things that will increase your total net happiness, you lose out.
So you're talking about how so the changing impact, not like I was thinking more past our lifetimes. And so you're thinking of during the future, as in during our lifetimes as well, and sort of passing that on as well.
Yes, but not only that, I'm talking about like infinitely long into the future.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of dodging around the question of, well, what happens if we wipe ourselves out? Because then you've got no happiness. Admittedly, that is the ultimate loss of happiness, because you've got no happiness from anyone ever again, because everyone's dead.
That's a good point.
So, moral of the story: we shouldn't give a rat's ass about now. We should only care about tomorrow. And tomorrow and the day after, and infinitely many more after.
Why do we feel obliged to be like, stop filming me, to take care? Why do we have to take care of other people and future environment when we could just take care of ourselves and not give a shit about anyone? Because it won't affect us at all. If we have greater happiness, why do we feel obliged to? Because we get happiness from other people.
I don't agree with the idea of us feeling obliged having any impact on moral decision making, whether or not you feel nice for doing something.
Yeah.
Shouldn't really, I mean, yes, you get into the whole thing, well, you're having happiness, and happiness is a fundamental good, so that's good. But it shouldn't be like, well, I feel like I should do this. That doesn't mean it's morally justified. And what was the question? Sorry, I got lost.
That was good philosophy.
Yeah, can you cut now?